All right. I know my teachers don't want to hear this. I know students don't want to hear this. I know college kids don't want to hear this. College grad kids like myself don't want to hear this. Well, not really. You get what I'm saying. It's about that time to head on back to school. Not fun. Not fun at all. And guys, forgive me. I got a little bit of pain right now here. For those of you who've seen my post-appendix surgery, I'm 2 weeks out of surgery as of the recording of this video. So it's getting better, but there's still, especially as the bandages are starting to come off, still a little bit of pain from time to time. I know that's pretty normal. But anyways, it's about that time, speaking of pain, that we all head back to school. I know y'all like, boo, Marcus, boo, boo, especially my fellow teachers out there. We all just like, man, summer just came and went, right? Well, this video or this series is going to be a little bit of something for everybody. This is called the Back to School series, where we're going to be talking about different subjects as far as getting prepared for the school year, how to be successful in school no matter what grade level you're in, elementary school, middle school, high school. If you're a teacher, how to be successful there, how to be successful if you're an admin, how to be successful if you are within the higher education system, if you are a freshman in college, sophomore, junior, senior, or a grad student. And I'm going to be going into specific details. This is actually going to be a pretty lengthy series. We're going to be doing one video on a Tuesday and one video on a Thursday. So this will be going on for about a good 2.5 months, give or take. So I really hope that you guys enjoy the series. And of course, I wanted to start this one out for my fellow teachers, right? The reason why is because I'm a teacher myself, although I'm going about it from a different perspective this year, slightly different perspective, not the whole entire year, but at least starting off that way. And I'm also apparently changing grade levels as well, at least as of the recording of this video. That could possibly change by the time this video comes out or shortly after. We'll see. But nonetheless, I want to give teachers some tips just on how to kind of ease their way into the school year, because I know the start of the school year sometimes can be a little bit stressful, especially if you didn't have the summer that you wanted to have enough time to relax. Maybe you had to work a little bit more. Maybe you had family things to deal with. Maybe you just had personal issues to deal with. And even if you did have time to relax, it can still be a little bit stressful, because it's kind of like that alarm bell's going off. It's like, crap, school's about to start back up. Man, like, I got so much I got to do, or dang, summertime is over. This kind of sucks, so I'm just trying to make it a little bit easier for all my fellow educators out there. So I'm going to give you guys 3 ways that you can ease yourself into the school year successfully. And I'm going to give you a bonus one at the end. That's not necessarily ease your way in, but just something to be aware of. I'm going to try not to get too political here. I don't believe in being political on this channel, but I think it's something that all educators should probably be aware of. So number one, the first thing that you can do to ease your way into having a successful school year is, I want you to forget about everything that happened last year, right? Forget about everything. I don't care if last year was your best year teaching ever, or if it was your worst year teaching ever, or maybe it was just like, it's all right, I guess. I want you to forget about everything that happened last year. This year's a brand new year. And this year you have a chance to make it your best year yet. So you have to go on with that positive mindset of, maybe I'm at the same grade level. Maybe I'm at a new grade level. Maybe I'm in a new position. Maybe I'm taking on a leadership position that I've never taken on before. Whatever the case may be, have that positive attitude that this is going to be a great year, because it starts up here. If you go in here with the mindset of this year's going to suck, it's going to suck. Because what you put out in the atmosphere oftentimes is what happens, right? So go in there with a positive attitude, believing that, hey, we're going to set it off. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, the second thing that I think will help teachers out in terms of preparing them to have a successful school year is have the mindset of getting ahead. There's nothing worse, and I can tell you this, I've been teaching for 9 years now. There's nothing worse than you being an educator, and this is especially for my new educators out there. Nothing worse than you going into the school year and you not being prepared for different things and adversities and challenges that may come along. Well, same thing, adversity, challenge, same thing, right? There are some things that are going to catch you off guard throughout the school year. But if you can prepare yourself to get ahead as much as you possibly can, then it will save you a lot of trouble. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be stressed out with life and other things that may possibly be going on. Maybe you got family issues going on. Maybe you got personal issues going on. And then things are not tight-knit at your school. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're doing everything in your power to stay on top of things. I know the one thing that I love about the high school that I work at is we do our best to make sure that we have plans ready way ahead of time. Now, does that mean that things still happen from time to time and we fall short? Absolutely. We're humans. None of us is perfect. But it helps knowing that you have the building blocks. So that way, as you're doing your lessons, you can keep building off of those building blocks that you had previously. And if you have to make adjustments, it makes it easier to make adjustments as opposed to if you don't know what you're doing. So that's number 2. Third thing that you can do to prepare yourself to have a successful school year is to remember that every student is different. All right, I know this sounds like it's common sense, but I have to bring it up. And the reason why I say I have to bring it up is because sometimes as teachers, especially if we've been doing things for a long time, we can kind of get set in our ways in terms of how we educate. We have to remember that each class is going to be different from the last. Again, I've been teaching for 9 years, and it's not just because I've been teaching different grade levels, but even with me maintaining the same grade levels year after year after year, I had to realize the class of 2025 was different from the class of 2024. The class of 2026 was different from the class of 2023. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying class of because I've been teaching seniors for a couple years. But, you know, it's just every group of kids is going to be different. Every group of kids is going to bring something unique. Every group of kids is going to bring something challenging. Every group of kids is going to bring something new. I think that's one of the beautiful things about teaching. It's never really a mundane moment. You know, it's one of those things where it's always something different happening. You want to find something different that happens on a daily basis? Teach. Because I can guarantee you, ain't no same thing every single day. I'm not saying every day is going to be fun. I'm not going to say every day is going to be great. But every day is sure enough going to be different. What you did on Monday, I guarantee you it's going to be different that next Monday. So don't think that all your Mondays or all your Wednesdays or all your Fridays going to be the same. It ain't. And I'm going to give you guys a bonus one. This might be a little bit on the political side, but I just want people to be mindful of this. The landscape of education is changing. It has changed a lot. One of the biggest ways that I've seen it change is students showing up to school. Like I said, I've taught seniors for 3 years. As of right now, this would have been my 4th year, but as of right now, I may be going back to teaching 10th graders. That could change again by the time you guys see this video or maybe shortly thereafter. Nothing is officially set in stone yet, but it seems like more than likely that's the route that I'm going to be going at for this year. I can say that seniors oftentimes have senioritis, right? But this was the most amount of students that I've seen out for a long period of time from school in all of my years of teaching. It's never been this bad. And just to give you some insight as an example, right? I remember my 5th period last year, I had 26 students. On average, I had 13 students that showed up to class. I know some of y'all thinking to yourself, God darn, that's a lot. It is. It is. I can understand the senioritis where you might got 3 or 4 students that might not show up much after the 3rd quarter or something like that. But God darn, I'm talking about throughout the school year. You know what I'm saying? This is a thing called truancy. And if you don't know the definition of truancy, that is when you have a number of students that are not showing up to school that are absent. And it's not just seniors. I just brought up seniors as an example because that's what I taught. It's happening across all grade levels. All different types of sections of education, from elementary school to middle school or high school. It's just a little worse in high school compared to middle school and elementary school, but it's bad. It's bad. And we have something down here in Florida, and it's pretty much different other areas that's called an FTE count. If you don't know what an FTE count is, that's basically how many students are counted so the school can receive funding. And if you don't have students in the classroom, you don't get that funding for that school. That's why those counts are extremely important. They do those counts on certain specific days throughout the school year. Typically, it's early on. They do it a lot because they have to make sure those numbers are accurate. Then sometimes you'll do it like midway, first, second quarter, and then you'll do another count in the second semester to get those final numbers to make sure everything is accurate, because everything ultimately ties into the budget, right? Again, not trying to be super duper political, just letting you guys know how it is. The reason why I'm saying that I want teachers to be mindful in this situation is because I just want you to be open to the fact that the dynamics of education change a lot, and it could affect your job. Now, I'm not saying that people are going to be losing jobs because of this. Let me just make that perfectly clear. I'm not out here spreading rumors or anything like that. No. I'm not saying that by any means. All I am saying is just be aware of what's going on in your district. Be aware of what's going on in your state at all times, because those changes ultimately, even if it seems like it's on a smaller scale, they do affect you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is my 9th year teaching. So at this point, I know quite a bit to be able to say, hey, this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? It's important to join your teacher union, whatever your union is. But it's also important to understand that regardless if you join a union or not, which I recommend everybody to join their union, it's just as important to be aware. Don't be ignorant just because you don't join the union. That doesn't mean that you should not be aware of the issues that are going on, because they do ultimately affect you and the people that are around you. And then most importantly, they also, in a lot of cases, affect our kids who, let's be real, at the end of the day, this is what we do it for. We know teachers don't get paid a lot. This ain't no $1 million job. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes teachers are underpaid and underappreciated. So we ultimately do this because we appreciate the kids that we work with and we want to see them have a successful future. You know what I mean? But that's it for our video today. Greatly enjoy you guys for joining in. I didn't mean for the video to be this long, but that's typically how the introduction is. The other videos will be a little bit shorter. So my next video on Thursday is going to be a general view of how students, just in the general sense, can be ready, how parents can help prepare those students to be ready. And then after that, we'll start going to like specific grade levels. I'll give you some scenario-based stuff and so on and so forth. So this back to school series is going to be a little bit more detailed and a little bit more extensive. So make sure you guys stay tuned. If you guys enjoyed this video, as always, give it a like. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment. Feel free to share the video if you like. And let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Is there anything else that you would like to add to the list? How do you feel about the climate of education changing? What things do you think are changing for the better? What things do you think are getting worse? Like I said, leave a comment below and let me know. It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day. Stay tuned. Peace.